Heyo everyone. In this video I want to talk about something that I can do since I can think. I tried to find the correct name for this and voluntary nystagmus was the best name I was able to find. Maybe you already know what this means. Some people also call this vibrating eyes or jiggling eyes. Another information that I was able to find was that only 8% of people can do this on command and I'm one of those. I showed this to many people back then and I got many questions about it. How do you do that? Can everyone do this? Is there a way to learn this? How long have you been able to do this? What do you see when you do this? Is this bad for your eyes? One thing that's a bit hard for me to say is how old I was when I learned it. But it should be when I was between 1 and 2 years old. Already in my really early years I had problems with sleeping. By this I mean, falling asleep always takes some time for me. Sometimes it only takes 1 hour, but often enough it takes up to 4 or 5 hours until I fall asleep. Another problem that I have is, when I fall asleep, then I mostly only sleep for a few minutes, or maybe half an hour and then I wake up again, and then it takes some time until I fall asleep again, and this repeats many times every night. Another big problem that I had in my early years was, I was mostly not sleepy enough during the night. So, falling asleep was even harder for me. And this means that every night I was trapped in my bed and didn't know what to do. I couldn't simply climb out of my bed every time I do something. My family would see it when I turned the lights on and they would also hear me. So I had to find something that I can do in my bed. And one of these things was moving or tensing my muscles. There are many muscles that we can move and tense. While button mashing in a game, we often use a specific muscle to mash fast. We can tense this muscle for a longer time, or tense it, relax. Tense it, relax. We can tense it hard and fast, or slowly. And this is something that I often did during the night on my entire body. I did it on my arms, my belly, my butt cheeks, my legs, on my head, like my nose or ears, and also on my eyes. What do I mean by that? What if I tell you that my eyes vibrate every few seconds for a really short time? Can you guess what I mean? I'm talking about blinking. Blinking is a really fast thing that we do every few seconds and mostly we don't even think about it. I have a question for you. When you try to fall asleep, do you have your eyes open or closed? In all of my early years, I always had my eyes open when I laid in my bed. For me, it doesn't make a difference if I have my eyes open or closed when I try to fall asleep. I simply wait for it to happen. And this brings me to another question. Do you blink when you have your eyes closed? Even when my eyes are closed, I need to blink every few seconds. If I don't do it, my eyes will hurt. So, even though I use blinking to close and open my eyes very quickly, I can blink while my eyes are closed. By this I mean that I can use my blinking muscle with open and with closed eyes. And this is something that I noticed back then, and it made me wonder, why do I need to blink even though my eyes are closed? This question is not important here, but back then I noticed something else, that I can do the same thing with my blinking muscle that I can do with other muscles. I can tense it fast and slow, but I can also tense it for a longer time. Do you know what I mean here? While button mashing, I'm tensing my muscles for a longer time and this makes my arm vibrate. And the same happens when I blink, not just on my eyelids, but also on my eyes, but only for a very short time. If I look at something small like this white point here, when I blink, my eyes move a little bit away from it. By this I mean, when I blink, my eyes vibrate for a very short time and then I look at a different point. I can notice this better on myself when I blink many times in a row. Then I can really see that I look at different spots every time I blink. Here's another example. When I blink, my eyes move slightly. Sometimes more, sometimes less. So it can be hard to notice. But if I remove the blinking effect here, then we can see it better. While I was playing around with my muscles, I noticed that when I tense my blinking muscle really hard, then I can feel my eyes vibrate. I feel it on my eyes and on my fingers when I touch them. And then I wanted to see how it looks like when I open my eyes while tensing my blinking muscle. I walked to a mirror, tensed my blinking muscle hard, and moved my eyelids up with my hands. And then I saw it. I saw that my eye is moving really fast. And then I slowed it down, tensing my blinking muscle in a weaker way so that I can keep my eyes open. And then I got it. I was able to vibrate my eyes while having them open. Let me quickly explain the different blinking steps in the way I feel it. When I blink, my eyelids close. Then, my eyes are closed, and during this short time they are vibrating, and I was able to separate these two. Then, my eyelids open, and then my eyes are fully open. If you watch videos about this on YouTube or so, you can also see other people's eyelids vibrating when they do it. The same is true for me, but not all the time, only when I do it for too long or too strong. Now let's get to the questions that I mentioned earlier. When people asked me, how do you do that? Mostly I said that I can simply do it, but I also explained it in the same way, that it has something to do with my blinking muscle, similar to this one specific muscle on our arms. When they asked me, can everyone do this? I said, maybe. When they asked me, is there a way to learn this? Then I said that I learned it by myself, so yes, maybe you can learn it too. But then there's the question. I'm able to move my nose and ears, and many people can't do it even though they try to do it many times. I can move both of my eyebrows up, and I can also move only my left eyebrow. But for some reason I can't move my right eyebrow. I can only move it together with my left one. So, just because you can blink your eyes and this vibration would also happen to you, doesn't directly mean that you can also learn it. When they asked me, how long have you been able to do this? I said that I can do it since I can think. When they asked me, what do you see when you do this? Then I said that it's blurry and everything is moving really fast from left to right, as if everything is vibrating, but not that much because my eyes are not moving all the way to the left and right. And since this here is a video, I can also show it. When they asked me, "Is this bad for your eyes?" I said no. I didn't notice anything bad, and I already said that this vibration happens to me for a short time when I blink, so even today I can say that I didn't notice anything bad. There were also some bad questions going on during my kindergarten and school time. One question was, "Do you feel cool now?" Many of the idiots asked me this question, and every time I said no. Why should I? It's just something that I can do. But they didn't care about what I said. I showed it to many people back then. Some liked it, but during my school time, most people counted me as disgusting after I showed it to them. Another sad thing about this is, from all the people I know in real life, I'm the only one who is able to do it. Back then my oldest sister said that one girl from her school or so can also do it. But that's it. I really wanted to see someone else doing it. Besides some other people, mostly only the people that I can count as friends didn't talk bad about that I can wiggle my eyes or vibrate my eyes or whatever you want to call it. Instead, they wanted to see me doing it here and there. They also wanted to learn it. They also said that it's disgusting in some way, and I can agree to this, but my friends didn't say it in a bad way. When they said that it's disgusting, they meant a mixture of disgusting, weird, funny, and also interesting. The idiots laughed about me, but my friends laughed with me, and that's a big difference. I'm not insulting anyone because of something like this. I have no reason to do that. And I feel bad for all the people that can't do it even though they really want to do it. I explained it to many people back then and I was also able to see and feel this vibration on their eyes. But they still couldn't get it to work while having their eyes open. And being able to do this pushed me even more into this weird position that I couldn't really escape.